And now, here's your host, Andria Molina.
And good morning and welcome. Today is June 6th. I'm live from Atlanta, and I'm so excited because today I have a guest, and I'll bring her on shortly. But I just want to remind my audience that my next show is going to be June 27th at 10 a.m. Eastern Time. And I want to thank everybody for the feedback that I received. Last show we did about compromising in relationships, and I know some people were saying also friendship, and that's true. Friendship is, you need boundaries and when you have successful friendships as well. So that's true, and I think for the people that gave that feedback. And also, June 27th, I'll be talking about soulmates, and that will be the next topic. I got a request for that, so excited for that. So today we have a guest. Her name is Louise Helene. I hope I'm pronouncing that right, but we're going to bring her on in a couple seconds. I'm going to read a little bio, and then I'm going to bring her on from the switchboard. But I'll just read a little thing about her. She's a second-generation psychic, tarot reader, and spiritual advisor who has been in the field for over 30 years. She was only 12 years old when she performed her first psychic reading at the urging of her mother, spiritualist minister and psychic radio show host Reverend Louise Helene. I hope I'm saying that right. Louise learned her craft for helping her mother run a successful psychic advisor business, and today she has her own following of loyal clients who praise her accuracy, compassion, and humor. I was going through the book last night, and it's really good. I like it. It's called I Saw Your Future, and He's Not It. I like it. Well, let's bring her on and see, so she can talk more about her book. Let's see. Hello.
Hello. It's lovely to be on your show, Andrea.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you so much for joining me this morning. I'm so happy. I love your book. I went through half of it. I love it. I love the examples you give. And let's go. How do you pronounce your name so I know that we're saying it right?
Louise Helene.
Helene. Okay, great. Yeah. But I love the cover of it. Did you pick that or did
the publishing company. Well, they actually they had to have my approval, but I did. I actually said the colors that I wanted. And I thought it was an upbeat cover. The book is about love. It focuses on love. So, yes, I had input in it. I told them what colors they wanted and things like that. So.
Oh, got it. So cute.
They had an illustrator draw it and everything. So I was very pleased with it.
Yeah, I love it. It's very eye-catching. And
I've had many clients tell me that they feel happy when they look at the book. They actually look at the cover.
Yeah, that's true. It kind of brings a smile to you. It's like it's just really warm.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Yes.
And I couldn't put it down. Last night. It's like I only have a couple more chapters to finish, but I really like it a lot. I think it's great for anyone. It also gives an insight into what psychics really have to deal with. And how when their readings and stuff.
Oh yes. Well, as and you read in the bio about me, I've been giving readings for years. I helped my mother, and actually when I was a child, I used to sit on her lap. And while she was giving readings. Now, sometimes I had to leave the room. It depended what they were talking about. But I would sit there, and I'd look in my mother's crystal ball or look at the cards and listen to her. And I gave my first reading when I was 12, so.
Oh, wow. I know I read. That's awesome. I know I read that. And you've been doing this for like over 30 years, correct?
Yes, it's actually longer than that, but yes. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So you talk about the psychic edge in your book. So how can a woman use their intuition or the psychic edge to date a mate successfully? How does that go?
Well, as you notice in the book, you're reading it, I have the psychic edge exercises. And when we listen to ourselves and we listen to the subtle feelings that we have, everyone is looking for love, men and women, and we're looking for happiness. And many times women ignore their feelings about things. When people talk about, the hairs stood up on my arms and, I had this feeling. Many times people ignore this. So I have exercises in the book that try to tell you to tune in to these feelings that you have. Pay attention to them. Sometimes the feelings are very subtle, and when we can get a feeling about something and use our natural intuition or psychic ability, is actually what it is, we will be able to, eliminate someone right away. Sometimes it'll be very strong, a negative feeling, and you can go on the path actually focusing on people that should be in your life, a soulmate. And, we have many soulmates on this earth, so it's not just one person. But anyway, so when you understand someone and you can feel them, you won't waste your time on people that are not right, and a lot of heartache will be avoided.
Oh, my God, that's so true. And I love your exercises you give in the book. For the audience, she does give really great examples. I like the one with the quarters.
Yes, everyone, you're mentioning that. Everyone loves that exercise, and it's very, and then you graduate to something lighter like dimes. It's very important because sometimes the feelings that we receive, many times we do get a physical reaction, but it's so subtle that people ignore it. My exercises are trying to get someone to recognize these subtle sensations that we get in our body. And many people ignore these things, so I try to get people to develop that so that they notice it. And a slight something in your body, it doesn't have to be something that strong that you will notice it. Yes. So you like the one with the quarters? Yes.
Right, that's true, because if people were more intuitive, and that's what I tell the audience, it's such a guide, because even with Rosie and Eddie that you talk about, and how she lost first $400 and then another $400.
Oh yes.
If she would have been really in tune with their intuition, maybe she would have picked that up. Or even with Susan and Martin, with the like her liking the lawyer and Martin. I laughed when I read that one. That was funny.
Yes, and the thing is, the stories. Something with the stories that I wanted to get a message through to ladies is that they're not alone in their problems. Many of my clients said that it sounded. I've had some of my clients ask me, "Was that me?" And I'd say, "No, it wasn't you." and because they said it sounded like them, because I want women to know that they're not alone. There's other women out there with the same problems, same challenges, and you're not alone. And if you listen to the universe and open yourself up and are not in a hurry, don't hurry, love, and use your intuition. And the psychic edge exercises, I like to say this about them. When we exercise our body, we become more fit and muscular. Well, my exercises for the psychic edge are exercising your psychic muscle.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And we can all develop. Everyone is born with a certain amount of intuition. It's just more developed in some people, but everyone can develop it. Everyone can keep developing it. Yes.
That's true, and I like how you put that in your book about you lose what you don't use.
Yes, it's very true. And the more you do the exercises, the more often you do them, you'd be surprised at the things that come to you. Actually, I have clients right now that have bought my book. They've been my clients for a while, but they bought my book, and they're doing them, and their love lives are exploding with good things. They're meeting a lot of new people. And I do tell them, don't expect the moment you start meditating and doing exercises that the next day you're going to find someone. I have many clients that are actually having fun dating, and I have one client that couldn't find one great guy. One guy just to date that was decent. She has 4 now.
Oh wow! Look at that.
Yeah, and I'm like, wow, your life. And she's got dates on different days, and actually I have several clients like that. Some have two, and they're not sure what they want to do, but they're dating different people, and the quality of men that are coming into their life are more of what they're in tune with.
Mhm. Yeah, that's good. It's kind of like a manifestation. That would go with the mantras that you advise, right, in your book, like repeating the mantras?
Yes. See, as you notice in the book as you were reading it, that some are mantras, some are actual, exercises for sensation in your body, or to project like with the cards, with the cards. And these are all, there's a reason for all of these, and it's to develop every aspect. When you start developing all of these, and meditation is very important along with this. So some people have picked out certain exercises that they like the most. So
there's
20 exercises in there. There's 20 chapters in the book.
Yeah.
And they're very easy to do.
Mm-hmm.
You don't need, my exercises, you don't need, sometimes people want someone to do exercises for something. They've got to go out and buy a bunch of things. Most people have some quarters, and another exercise that's very good is the exercise, where you put some food dye into a glass of water.
Mm-hmm.
And you look into the glass of water for any shapes or things that you see.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I don't know if you remember that exercise, but I like that one a lot.
No, I didn't get to that one. I read all the way up to chapter 10.
Okay. There's a glass of water and a drop of food dye, and then look into the glass as the color disperses in the water. What do you start seeing? And as you do this, people would be surprised, and really focus on that, and be quiet in a quiet room when you're doing this. And it's sort of to project forward. When you get to that exercise, you'll enjoy it. My mother taught a class, an adult class, in developing your psychic ability and everything, and she used ink in a glass of water, but people really saw many things with that exercise.
Oh wow, that's good. I can't wait. I like the ones too that with the writing, you tell to take a piece of paper out and you write what comes. Or that,
yes. Mm-hmm.
That one.
Yes. Yeah, that's sort of like automatic writing in a way. It's not exactly like it. Sort of like automatic writing, but then you concentrate. You'd be surprised. It can happen the first time when someone does the exercise, but as someone does it, and it's not hard to do, a pen and a piece of paper, and you have to be in a quiet room and just see what, you can actually even do it when you're watching TV, and see what comes from the scribbling that you do. You'd be surprised as you practice that and do some of the other exercises what will be revealed.
Right, and I also like how you write about to give advice, like if they're looking for what does this person look like of your dreams, and then write it down or visualization.
It helps so much to visualize what you want. Very much to visualize what they want. As a matter of fact, I was on a show yesterday. Was it yesterday? Yes. No, the day before. Excuse me. I've been doing a lot of shows. I was on a show the day before yesterday, and the host said that she was single for a long time, and she enjoyed, being single. But when she decided she wanted to be married, she would actually say in the morning and different times during the day, that her husband is in her life, and she would say it currently. And she would say, my husband is in my life. My husband is in my life. And she said that he came into her life. The husband that she's currently married to, yes.
Yeah, that's fantastic. It's like how can a woman tell if she's found the one? Because that's a common like when you get in a relationship, you get excited and you kind of want to know, is this the one?
Yes. Well, one thing is important, some meditation after you meet someone that you're excited about. Something very helpful would be to meditate on them, visualize them. I also have an exercise that you, on several pieces of paper, you put different, if you have a question, for example, if you meet someone, is he the one? Is he my soulmate? Is he my future husband? And on a piece of paper, write many possibilities. No, he's a good guy. Yes, he's fantastic. Whatever you want to write down. On several pieces of paper, write some different things, put them in a bowl, mix them up, and then meditate for a little while. Reach in, take a paper out, look at when you read it, how do you feel the very moment you read it? How do you feel when you read that statement? Is he the one? He's the one. Do you feel good when you feel that? That has to do with sensing what's going on in your body and to see forward. It has to do with projection. How do you feel when you open that piece of paper and it says, take him out of my life? How do you feel when you read that? How do you feel if you read the statement, he's my soulmate? And you'd be surprised. And I'm not telling people to necessarily govern themselves by what they see on the paper. It's to feel, how are they feeling in their body? How does it make them feel when they read that statement? It's a fun exercise to do, and you can do it for many things. So that's one thing that you can actually do that has a little bit of an outside source, like with the papers and the questions. Another thing is just to meditate. Another thing is to, before you go to bed, think about the person, think about them, think about having, for example, a child with them. How does that make you feel? And then go to bed. And when you wake up, was anything revealed to you in dreams? Meditation is very important when we meet someone in relative to knowing when they're the one. And my exercise will help someone recognize, is he the one? Is he the one in my life? And also, does he fit? Does he fit? That's why when I tell women to make a list, visualize the person, the qualities. When you meet someone, do they fall into any of those categories? Do they match a lot of things that you have in your list?
Yeah, that's
many times they will not.
Yeah, that's what I was getting, kind of like the take-home message when I was reading your book, is that a lot of the clients, if they would have listened to their intuition, or, a lot of them would have, some of them were pretty stubborn, though,
Oh, very stubborn, yes. Very stubborn, but, in the book, as you're reading it, there's different stories. Some of the stories are funny, some are cute, and if they would have listened to themselves, they could have avoided a lot of heartache. They could have, but as you notice in the book, everyone that comes to me and that has come to me, they don't necessarily end up with the person that they. Sometimes they do. Sometimes he's it, and sometimes he's not it. But everyone does find some happiness. Mm-hmm. Everyone does find happiness. If they just wait and don't be impatient. It's worth waiting for. Love, finding the soulmate, finding the right person is worth waiting for. Sometimes it takes a little bit longer. That's why I used examples of some people, he's not the one, but someone else came into their life.
Yep, that's true. There's a lot of examples of that. They would have just been more patient, or just listened to them. They end up learning it, but after that experience and what transpired in that relationship. Yes,
and actually it can help people in many other aspects of their life to not be so stubborn about something. Many times when we want love, women ignore the red flags from someone, their intuition telling them no. They close that off because they want love and they want it now. They want it today. Mm-hmm. Well, finding your soulmate, finding the person that's right for you, that you're going to spend the rest of your life with, it doesn't have to be tomorrow.
That's true. Yeah, it comes when the time is,
Yes. Yes, the unhappiness. And the thing is, I just wish women, when I'm speaking to them, I just wish that they would be a little more patient. And sometimes the person's not. I'm going to give you, sometimes when people, let's say, are meant for each other, let's say you're going to meet your soulmate, they're very impatient. They want this person now. Sometimes that person is not in the position in their life to come into your life. They might be getting out of a relationship. They might need to get divorced. And so you might have to wait a little while to meet them. Sometimes, when two people meet each other, when they're right for each other, the timing has to be just right for both people.
Right, and I remember reading the story with Joanne where she was dating the guy where his wife had cancer and she was going to pass away, and she still, was with him, or she. Yeah, that was. So, what are some psychic exercises that are really effective in resolving tough relationship problems?
Let me see. They're all very good at it. I would say that a very good one is to with dream manifestation and how you feel. I do talk about before you go to bed, sort of meditating a little bit. Have a pad of paper and a pen next to your bed, and go to bed thinking about this, because sometimes people have a lot of questions, but meditate about it, make your mind a blank about it, then think about the person, visualize their face, and then go to bed. It might not be the first night or the second night, but you will receive some things in dreams. Actually, when we are sleeping, we are more open to receiving psychic revelations to us.
Mhm.
When we're sleeping. Yes. Because everyone then their mind is just sort of drifting, and we're actually many times some people have a problem when they're awake, feeling things and receiving things, but when they're sleeping, they have many dreams that there's either symbolism to them or actual answers. Right. I had a client that actually did that, and she received some very true information. She actually did it, and it actually, she had told me, I'm not going to reveal what it is, but she said that she received some actually true information, and she looked it up and found out that he had a girlfriend. Now, that's not in the book. This is something that is actually recently someone has told me.
Right, that and it's like what the audience has to understand is that the more you work with your intuition, whether it's meditating or hypnosis or the mantras or the exercises, the more that's going to enhance their dream, their premonitions in their dreams. So they have to
every for example, the exercises they're very different in different ways. Some are meditation, some are projection, some are with dreams. All of these things strengthen certain parts of your brain for opening the door for intuition. All of them do. So actually, to do several of them and do many of them, you will, your psychic muscle will be strengthened in many ways. Many ways.
Right. Mm-hmm. Right. So, tell us, what was it like growing up in a psychic household? How was
Oh my goodness, it was very different than other people. I remember laying on I was very small, and we were living in a different house, and I would lay on. I was like almost 5, and my mother wanted me to take a nap, and the whole house was quiet. And upstairs, the bedroom that was upstairs from the front room, I could hear all kinds of pounding and chairs being moved and things being thrown down on the floor, and I could hear it. My mother said to me, "Listen, those are spirits upstairs." And yes, and my mother accepted it because we did have a lot of spirits in the house. But I come from a very large family. There's 10 of us. Mm-hmm. So when people are running around the house laughing and playing and everything, you're not going to hear spirits walking around. But when the house was quiet, you would actually notice things. But anyway, when the house was very quiet, no one was home, and I'm hearing all the chairs moving, things. It sounded like things being thrown on the floor. And it wasn't carpeted. It was a hardwood floor. It was very loud. And my mother would say, "Listen, those are spirits." And so it's just one example of all the things that were going on. My mother would have seances at the house when I was very young, and she would have seances, people from church, because we're a spiritualist, and we believe in seances and things like that. And so I grew up around all these things. It was very interesting. And it's something, and several of my brothers and sisters, they use their psychic ability in their jobs. Mm-hmm. Now, they're not necessarily psychics, but they have other professions in law enforcement. Now, they're not telling their employers that they're using it, but they are using it, and it's been very helpful in their careers.
Oh, absolutely, and that's what I say on my show is that intuition is a guide, and that's what I feel determines someone's successful and one that's not, because it's just enhances your innate ability really be in tuned. And someone, and especially because you grew up in a supportive environment that supported the psychic, your psychic ability, where some may have not grown up in such a supportive environment. But I always say it doesn't. But today's today. You can change that. You can embrace your gift.
Oh, absolutely. It does help if around when I was growing up, the whole household, like seances, my mother's giving readings, hearing spirits, is very interesting. I don't know anyone else that actually had a childhood like that, but I was very blessed to have that because it has opened many doors and windows for me, and I'm very developed psychically, and I wanted to be able to help. My mother used to teach classes, adult classes at a college, to get people to develop their psychic ability. And I would go with her everywhere. And people really, some of the people that were in the classes actually became readers.
Oh, wow.
That were not readers when they entered the class. There was a few people that became readers. And it helped everyone. So my mother was thinking about writing a book. My mother has passed away now. So I wrote a book, and it's dedicated to her.
I know, I saw that. It's really sweet. It's wonderful. To have that opportunity, and to dedicate it to your mom and your family.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yes.
Okay, let's take a quick couple second break, and we'll get back and we'll finish up the interview. And if anybody wants to call in, are you taking readings today?
Yes. If you have any callers that would like a reading, I'd be happy to.
Okay, I'll give the number 347-945-6383. And we'll take a quick break right now. Just hang on the line, and then we'll go through the rest of the interview.
You've been listening to Awakening Your Consciousness Through the Power of Tarot with your host, Andria Molina, a 78 archetype language which opens your conscious by allowing your thought patterns to rise to the forefront, designed to empower you with the tools for a healthy and happy life. Tune in every second and fourth Thursday at 7 a.m. Pacific, 10 a.m. Eastern. Want to connect with Andria directly? Visit www.andriamolina.com. That's Andria, A-N-D-R-I-A, Molina, MOLINA.com, or on Facebook at Facebook.com/Andria Molina.
And welcome back. I'm talking to the author of I Saw Your Future and He Is Not It, A Psychic's Guide to True Love, Louise Helene. It's a wonderful book. I highly recommend it. Fantastic psychic tips. You'll get a really good perspective, like with relationships, and it's hands down. You're not going to want to put it down because there's funny stories and things like that. But it's really wonderful. I really like it. I was even, like I said, I just can't get over the cover. It's so cute.
Yes, I'm glad you like it. When you're talking about not being able to put it down, I've heard from different people that actually have seen the book in bookstores, because it's at Barnes & Noble, and it's also available on Amazon, and it's available all over. If you Google "I Saw Your Future News" on it, you'll see many sources for it. But it's at Barnes & Noble, in the store, online, Amazon, and I've had people that have picked up the book in bookstores that have written me and said that they couldn't put it down. One lady said she was going to read it. She couldn't wait to finish it, and she's going to read it again.
Oh,
she said there was so much information in it that she said she's going to read it. She's got to read it again. Yeah,
because it's like when you read it, absolutely, because then you pick up the things that you didn't, that you overlooked, or when you're reading. But I can see that, there's a lot of wonderful stories, and for sure everyone walks away learning something, and it's just a really great book. And also,
I want to empower women with the book to develop their own intuition, to know that they're not alone, that most women at some point in their life have some problems romantically. And I want to be able to empower women to solve these problems, to move on from them, to be smarter next time. Not only smarter next time, but more in tune with their intuition next time.
Right, and like when you're giving advice to I see one of the ladies where she wasn't like she was the college student and the guy was with the sweatpants, and
Oh,
she was
yes.
like, yeah, like she just needed, yeah, like it's interesting because you as a reader, you can see you kind of like you can see what's going on with their situation, but a lot of times they just, they see something different. They see something completely.
Oh, yes, yes. And the names in the book, all my clients, it's confidential.
Oh,
and it's all confidential. So I used, and actually it says in the book, I don't know if you saw that page, I used family member names in place of my clients' names. And I asked their permission, yes. So some of those names, I had to use some names, so I used family member names. Because, my client consultations are confidential. And so I wanted to make sure I didn't even use their first name. And so we had fun. I was using different family member names. Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, that's wonderful. Yeah, and you know what? That's what people need to understand too when they go for a reading. Because some people are scared, or they don't want to call in, or they want to be anonymous. But that's what's good about working on the phone, because you're right. Exactly what you say in your book. It's like they could tell you anything. They'll tell you more than what they'll tell their friends.
Absolutely, and they'll tell more than they will a counselor that they go to. It is totally anonymous on the phone. I hear things that they would not tell anyone else.
Yeah, and it's true. It's like it's like I think like this is you're counseling, but counseling through an intuitive modality.
Yes. Yes.
Because exactly. You can pick up stuff that a counselor will never be able to pick up, because they're
absolutely.
They're using their they're not tapped into their intuition. They're they're using a different method. But this is what I like, because it's like you can just you can quickly tap into the issue and work with that client.
Oh yes, and I have clients that I have clients that have said to me that they're having such problems with their love life. They talk about it, and I have a few clients that have told me no one wants to talk to me anymore. None of my friends want to talk to me anymore, because the friends get tired of hearing about their love life.
Oh yeah. Yeah. It's like the never. It's like having healthy boundaries in friendship.
Right. Yes. But I love it when I have so many clients that are still calling me, because we have other problems in our life. They're still calling me, and I have clients that I've had for years. And I just absolutely love when I'm helping them. And for me to help them, they need to help themselves a little bit too.
Oh, yeah.
It takes both, because they have to listen to me too. And I just love when I see people. I have several clients now that are engaged.
Mm-hmm.
And when they called me, they had no one in sight. I have a client that had never had a boyfriend, and she was turning 40 years old. Had never had a boyfriend in her life, and she pretty much had lost hope. She hadn't even had a boyfriend. I told her that she would have someone in a very short time. It was like a few months. And she said, "Oh, that can't be." And I said, "And you will be engaged by the fall." And sure enough, by September, this was of last year, she was engaged. She actually met the person about a month and a half to 2 months later. And she said, "I can't believe it." And she had a ring in her finger by September. And she's actually getting married this month.
Oh, my God. That's wonderful.
Be a June bride. Yes.
Oh, that's fantastic. And, I like how you write in your book, too, is that sometimes women get down on themselves. Like, I remember you're saying in your book about, like, when, like, people think, well, by a certain age, you should be married, or, and you're even saying that you just need to focus on the good things with you, or something like that, and then not focus on, like, well, I should be married by now,
Oh, yeah, no timelines for things. No timelines. There's no such thing as you've got to be married at a certain age. Listen, in today's society, there are people that have been married. They're out. They're looking for someone else. They're looking for their soulmate. They were married before. There's people of all ages out there. It's very important for women to know there's no timelines in anything.
Yep.
What we're looking for is quality, happiness, someone that enriches our life. Don't focus on timelines. Oh no.
Right.
Big mistake. So
who would you think? Who gets readings, like, for the audience out there? Like, Who gets what's the typical person that gets a reading?
Well, I would say that 95% of my clients are women. I do have male clients, but 95% are women, and actually maybe more than 95%. That's a low estimate. And most of my clients do ask me about their love life. Now, they do have other questions. They'll ask me if about their job or something like that. But I would say that most of my clients are single women and women in relationships that are not going well. I would say that's most of my clients.
Yeah, that's
or they're in relationships that aren't going well. They're married. They're not. Things are going well. They have a dilemma in their life. And as I said, most of the women actually know. That's why they're reaching out for some help. They know it's not right. They intuitively feel it's not right.
Yeah, you know what I noticed is that as a reader is that you're not, from my experience, that you're not telling the client anything that they don't already know. They know it. They just don't want to. They don't want to listen. I mean, but it's difficult too, though, because I mean, it's like it's.
Well, it's hard to be objective. Many readers call other readers to get advice because you can't be. It's easier to be objective with someone else. My book, hopefully, teaches people to be able to be objective with themselves.
Right, that's one thing that they can gain from reading your book is, like not only with developing their intuition, but also, like you said, becoming more objective, learning from other. I think too, also from learning from other people's experiences. That's what they can walk away with this book.
Yes, because I wanted women to know that they're not alone. At the publishing company, some of the people that work there, when they read the book, they loved it, and they were saying, "Oh, yep, I've done that." The different stories. I've done that. Oh, my friend did that. Oh, yep, I recognize that. And so women recognize not only themselves at one time in their life or currently, but their friends. So I think it's important that women, many times, I've heard women say this to me many times. They feel that they're alone with their love problems. They feel that they're alone, and they're not alone. And I will have women say to me, they'll be looking at Facebook, and they'll be saying, "Oh, they're so happy. Why are they so happy? And I'm not happy." No one puts sad pictures on Facebook. Who's going to put? Everyone's smiling, looking like they're having a good time. I try to tell them, do not look at this and think, "Oh, this means that this person's happy, and that everything's going fabulously for them." They have their problems too. And the thing is, it's very important that women understand they're not alone. And actually, my stories, I wanted women to know that and know that there's so many different endings to things, and if you don't end up with this person, if he's, I saw your future and he's not it. If he's not it, someone will be it.
Yep, and that's what I get from reading the book. Is that's true. It's like, with these clients, they may not have worked out with the one that they're dealing with, but they do have a happy ending. They have somebody else. They meet somebody else, or they be more confident. The one where the one guy was taking the money. I can't remember the name of it, but he was taking her money, and he was a drug addict. But she felt more confident after she called you.
Oh yes. I have a client that she thought, I don't know if you read this story in the book, but she thought that she was engaged. They were fixing an apartment up, painting it, and anyway, as it turned out, he was married, and they had a wedding date set, and so when he came to help with the apartment, she asked him about it. And when she asked him, "Are you married?" Now they had a wedding date set. She had a ring. They had the apartment.
Oh God!
When she asked him, "Are you married?" he literally jumped up in the air, spun around, and ran down the stairs into the night. And she never heard from. And she never heard from him. Now she did go after him. She had bought furniture and things like that. Anyway, but he was married, yes.
Yeah, that's I think that's after what I read, but yeah, that's something, like that's it's. I mean, that's true. That's part of what you have to deal with too as a reader. You hear these stories,
Oh yes, yes.
I mean, that's.
Oh yes, there's one lady. I thought she actually was laughing about it. One lady was trying to give a gift to the one the guy that she liked, and she was honking her horn, trying to get him to pull over.
Yep,
and he went into the police station.
Yep.
And when she followed him in, he was actually going there to report her as being a stalker.
Yeah.
Do you remember that story?
Yeah, for that one. Susan and Martin the lawyer. Yeah, and she had her the president all pretty, the bow, and oh my gosh. Yeah, she it's interesting how people really think, because she probably was thinking that Martin likes her or whatever. And
she did, and she thought, he needs to go to the police station for something. And when she went in and she followed him in, and he pointed and he said, "This woman is stalking me." And she actually she said that she said that the police laughed. Because usually your stalker doesn't come with you to the police station going with you. So the police were actually laughing. And she had no intention of stalking him. No. It was not her intention. She thought he liked her. You know, she thought he liked her. She was totally... and the thing is, she ignored her psychic intuition about it. If she would have listened, she would have... If she had listened to herself, she wouldn't have had to go through that. But anyway, things turned out well for her. But it's very interesting. But with the stories, I want women to know that they're not alone. Right. They're not alone.
I mean, I'm sure anyone that reads this book can relate to, one or many of these stories, whether it's themselves, their friends, sisters. Your book won an award, though, didn't it? Didn't it win awards or something like that?
In the process right now of in some different things, yes.
Yeah.
I just need to get the name of the book out there a little bit more.
Right.
Everyone that reads it loves it. It's very interesting, very helpful. It's the kind of book that you want to keep and go back to, especially for the exercises.
Yes, I love the exercises, and they're different. They're completely. I'm going to tell the listeners, they're very different. You can do them. Like right when you read them, you can sit there and do them, and you're gonna. It's just all about enhancing your intuition, and this is something that you can use in your everyday life. Whether it's your work, even health. So how can the audience find more out about you? Like, I know you do readings, you do crystal ball and tarot, but that's the type of modalities, intuitive modalities you use, correct?
Yes. Mm-hmm. Crystal ball, tarot. I use the crystal a lot. I use the tarot cards. Actually, while I'm reading with the tarot cards, I also have a crystal sitting in front of me. So I use two vehicles many times at once. My mother read the crystal and the tarot cards, so that's what I was trained under. And I also I don't really need a tool. I actually use these things. I'll get many feelings when a client calls into me. I'll get many feelings, and then with the tarot cards and with the crystal, I look for new information that I'm not picking up or to confirm what I'm already feeling. Sort of like double checking. Do the tarot cards say sort of the same thing that I am feeling? I use it as sort of as an enhancement. I am a psychic. I don't actually need the tools, but I use them and I enjoy them and I double check. Mm-hmm.
That's I understand, because it's like you'll know the answer even without even pulling a card out or.
Yes.
What about accuracy? Have you ever accuracy? What's your view on that with reading? Accuracy?
Oh my goodness! With some people, I'm 100% correct. There are some people sometimes that I can't connect to that, and that not as strongly. But I'm still. But even those people are usually pleased with their reading. So I would say with someone, I would say that I'm probably about 95% accurate.
Yeah. Yeah.
About 95%. I know many readers say 99 point. I'm about 95%.
Yep. Yeah. Well, can you do a mirror reading? Like, can you look at you're like
Absolutely. Let me say, I'd like you to close your eyes.
okay.
I'd like you to just let your mind just go blank a little bit. And let me see, I wanted to get your vibration. I want to give you this. I feel that you're going to talk about a move. You're going to talk about a move. I see the number 6. This has to do with about 6 months. And I feel that you're going to talk about a move. And I feel it will be up to you, of course, if you move. But I actually feel that you will end up staying where you are for a little while longer. But you will talk about a move. It will be the first step in the fact that you will move. Let me see. I also see you going to... I see a room that looks like a class, and I feel that you will be going to some classes and taking some classes. I get a very good feeling about this. I feel, as I'm feeling your vibration, I get a very good feeling about this, and I want to say to you to continue on. So there's going to be further, it looks like classes to me, and I feel that you should go on and continue on. And I see a diploma, a certificate of some kind, and I see this around you. Let me see.
Well, that's good.
Yes. Are you thinking about taking any classes, or because I see you? It looks like a class. It looks like school, a seminar, or something like that. I see many people.
Yeah, I'm finishing up medicine, so like I have my licensing, and then I got I just have my course left, and then I'll be done. So
okay. So you are So you're actually doing classes now, but I feel you will continue. You might. I feel that you will go on, and I feel something more later. Not yet. Later, and I feel you continuing on. I see a little white dog.
I had a little white dog, Misty, but she passed. But I love dogs. I have a dog right now, a Chihuahua.
You had a white dog. I wonder if her spirit is coming to me. Was it a small white dog?
Yeah.
She's coming here in spirit. Because I closed my eyes, I saw a little white dog.
Yeah, I love my little white dog. Yeah, her name was Misty. I'm trying to do something in Philadelphia for, do you think that will come to pass or fruition? I'm trying to do something in October.
Let me see. Give me one moment. I get a big yes.
I hope so. We'll see. Yeah. Well, thanks for doing me reading. I know that some readers, they have different rules or whatever, but that's good.
I do get a feeling October what you were talking about, but that little white dog was your dog.
Yeah, her name was Misty, and we had her for the longest time, and she was a poodle. And,
yes.
You know what? With dreams though, I had 2 Chihuahuas, Molly and Scooby. Scooby's still alive, but Molly, she was my oldest Chihuahua, and I had a dream that a lady came to me and said, "Oh, your dogs have cancer." And then I woke up and said, "Well, that's crazy. My dogs don't have cancer." And then a month later, she died. She ended up having a brain tumor.
Yeah, that you were given that information in a dream. Yes, dreams. Our mind is open to. Our psychic muscle really is flexing in our dreams, and people should pay more attention to their dreams. Yes. Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. If it wasn't for that dream, I would have took her transition much more harder than I did. When
I also see a little baby girl around you.
Oh, okay. I don't have children right now, but my husband and I do plan. And then later,
and I see a little baby girl.
Oh, wow.
I didn't really feel currently you have children. But I see a little baby girl around you.
Okay.
And she's going to have beautiful hair and eyes. Yes.
Okay.
And dancing. I want you to remember this. It's for her future. I feel that she'll be very graceful, and I see dancing around her.
Oh, wow. Well, that's good. No boys?
You know what? I'm picking up that one child now. That doesn't mean you won't have more.
Right.
I see the girl very, very strong. I actually see 3 children around you.
Oh, wow.
I see 3.
Okay.
And I feel that 2 will be planned, and I feel 1 will be not planned. How's that?
But design by design.
A surprise. The design is there, yes.
Yeah. Well, we have a couple minutes left, but how can the audience find more about you? Like, I know I got a lot of archive listeners, and I know they're gonna want readings with you. So, like,
yes, Louise Helene, the Psychic, .com, LouiseHelene, thepsychic.com. They could also Google my name, Louise Helene, and put down psychic, and I should come up. I'm also a reader on Keen, on Keen.com. And my book is available at Amazon, Barnes & Noble, at stores, Indie. There's all kinds of bookstores online that's available on, but the big ones are Amazon and Barnes & Noble, and Llewellyn. Llewellyn Worldwide is the publishing company that published my book.
I know. You have a fantastic publisher. It's like it's the biggest, actually, for New Age material, isn't it?
Yes, yes. And they have a section at most Barnes & Nobles, and my book is all over. As a matter of fact, I have had some clients. One of their friends rented it from the library in New Zealand.
Oh yeah, you know what? I know. It's like that's awesome about this is that it's all international. You know.
Yes. Mm-hmm. And in England, it's at libraries, and it's growing. There's more and more libraries having it. So. Yeah,
definitely. And when I was reading, I'm like, I'm telling you, when you read this, it's a learning tool because you can learn from other people, and also the exercises you give in the book, the mantras, like come to me, like visualization, things like that. It's all, very educational, and it's worth the time to read it because you're going to walk away with.
Yes, and I've had many clients tell me, and actually people that have read the book that said when they finished the book they felt happy. I mean, they felt sad the book was over, actually, and they said that they smiled when they. I had one person tell me they're going to read it. They're going to read it again. Several people are saying they're going to read it again because they said it made them happy when they were done with it. Oh yeah, I mean it is. I mean yeah, it's like and it makes, like you said, it makes you laugh. It has humor, humor in it, and and then you even this. It's like even with Sylvia and Joel, that's the one with the sweatpants, and he like would let air out. Yeah. Yeah, or even the guy Angelo, the one that lived at home, and his parents, one was a dentist, his dad was a dentist, and he was like thinking that women hate him, and that's not true. He needed to work with his independency. Oh yeah,
remember that guy? Yeah, they wrote.
Oh yes, absolutely, yes. Yes. There's stories, and like I said, some are funny, some are, and you'll see more as you finish the book because you said that you're about on the 10th chapter, correct? Okay.
Yeah. Yep,
you're about midway through.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what's you give a lot of, we only have a couple of minutes left, but for the audience, what's one intuitive exercise that you highly, highly recommend that you just can't not recommend it?
Oh, my goodness. Let me see. I like the quarter exercise.
Okay, yeah, that's
the one that I was talking about. I like the quarter exercise because it really, if you actually do it, and do it more than once. If you actually do it, you're going to get really good at sensing different sensations in your body when something's not right or when something is right. Mm-hmm. People don't even realize that psychic usually produces something physical, and this is to enhance it. I'd have to say that I feel that one is very important. But actually, there's a reason for all of them, and they actually all are important to develop, I call it the psychic muscle, to get that psychic edge.
Yep. Yes. And that mantra, come to me, now that can be used, like, visualization, but that can be used like as a job that somebody wants.
Oh, absolutely,
right?
Absolutely.
Okay,
yes. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And the thing is, these psychic exercises are developing our intuition and everything, and developing, it will work for you in other aspects of your life. Once you have your soulmate, then there's other things, and even while you're looking for your soulmate, there's other things. So actually, when you have the psychic edge, you have an edge in life. You have an edge that other people don't have. Yes.
That's true. Oh my God, I love that word. That's true. It's so true. Oh my God, like it gives you an edge, gives you like kind of a foot up because
yes, it does, and it gives you an edge that many other people do not have because they're not listening to themselves.
Right. Yep. That and so what is the last bit of words of advice or words of wisdom you can share with us today?
Yes, ladies, do not hurry love. Give it time. Take your time. Don't be in a rush. Take your time, listen to your intuition, listen to yourself, listen to your inner voice, and take your time. A love is worth waiting for. Right.
That's true. And that's true because so the audience can go to your website?
Yes. To find LouiseHeleneThePsychic.com and come, and I've got there's links to be able to buy the book on Amazon. I think Amazon and Barnes & Noble. There's a few links. I even saw my book on eBay. Not being sold, but sold by some publishing companies. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and some of the questions you can walk away with, ladies, is why won't he commit? What does he feel about me?
Yes, and an important thing, on Amazon, you can read a little bit of the book to see if you like it.
Yep, they give you a little...
they give you a little... It's like about 20 pages or something. Yeah.
Yeah. And you can get a really good idea of of the book, and it says, could he be the one? And there's a lot of great questions in here because that's true. It's like, how does he feel about me? That's like such a common question, when they start.
Well, yeah, why isn't he calling?
Yeah.
The woman's waiting for him to call. It's not always because they don't want to call. There's many reasons, and I give a few examples in there. So the book does deal with common questions that women have. Is he the one? A big one is, why doesn't he call? Now, if you're a reader, do you get a lot of questions like that? Why doesn't he call?
Oh, yeah, I do that. And also, though, for me, it's like, what is he thinking about me? What's he thinking about me? Like that, I did work for King. That's one cool thing I like about you is that we share the psychic hotline experience. I mean, you have, I did it for a couple of years, but, it's like that's one of the questions, like, what does he think about me or she think about me? And you're right, it's mostly women that call, but, yeah.
Yeah. I call for mainly women and looking for happiness in their romantic life. Mm-hmm.
Yep. Well, I want to thank you so much for coming on. Check out her book. It's called I Saw Your Future, and He's Not It. It's a psychic's guide to true love, and it's a fantastic book. You'll definitely walk away. Thank you so much for having me, and for coming on the show. And
yes, it's lovely being on your show, and let's talk again.
Oh, yes, definitely. Thank you so much. Take care.
Yes. God bless.
All right. Bye-bye. Okay, so my next show will be June 27th. What a wonderful guest. Her name is Louise Helene. Her book is called I Saw Your Future, and He's Not It. I highly recommend it. It's a psychic's guide to true love, and it's wonderful questions. You'll walk away with a lot of, experiences. That's the whole thing about life is you learn from other people, and and I'm telling you, if you want to become more in tune, and like she was saying, it's all about, that's why she called it the psychic edge, because it's about, getting, to use everything that's utilized to you. But I want to thank everybody for listening.